Good evening, people. How are we today? For anyone who's new, I'm Ben. Welcome to my book corner. This is my public confession of my spending habits for this month. Partially doing this as a video, as a live, because YouTube hates me at the moment. So, I thought, sod it, we'll actually talk about them. But how is everyone doing, first of all? Yes, you can guess how many books, but because I can't bother doing the, let's turn that down a bit, because I cannot be bothered doing the poll, let me know how many books you think I've got. Now, it is less than last month, but last month was 47. So, you're thinking 30, okay, oh, that's very small text, we need to turn that up a little bit, because I ain't going to be able to read that. There we go. That might be a bit better. You're thinking 30. Any other takers? Also, has everybody had a good weekend as well? I got very, very wet today. It is definitely the end of UK summertime. There are flood warnings, I believe, for the next couple of days, not far from where I live, so that's fun. But 30, any more for any more? Okay. Well, I'm going to start off with two, which I've already done the reviews for. I don't think these were in last month's haul. They were pre-orders, so I'd ordered these already. So the first one is Compound Fracture. That's very shiny, by Andrew Joseph White. This is a contemporary horror story set in a little Appalachian town. It has trans rep, class issues, abuse of power, very, very graphic, as Andrew Joseph White's books always are. It is YA, which always surprises me a little bit. It's got quite a political bent. Right. These were purchased before the ban, and then you encouraged me, Noah, and then Jenny encouraged me, so don't blame me. So, yeah, it's very dark, very gruesome. Decent. The main character, whose point of view it is trans and quite heavily autistic as well, which made it a little bit difficult at times for me to latch to. But if you're interested to know more, my full review is up for that one. And then the second one, I mean, I'm doing Read What You Own challenge soon, so shush. I've got some questions for you as well, Noah. And then the second one is obviously Celestial Monsters. This is the follow-up to Sunbearer Trials, so it's the second part of the duology. Really did live up to it. This is my book of the year so far. Absolutely love it. It continues the really good world building, the amazing character chemistry. Something we'll get on to. In fact, no, we won't, because I didn't buy that book this month. Yeah, it's just exceptionally well done. It also has a different POV character in there as well as Teo, which I really, really like. Very, very, very good. It's nothing to worry about, Noah. It's to do with that live you're planning, because people are asking me questions about it. So, there we go. So they're the two new releases that I picked up. The reviews for those are already up. I'm going to do ebooks next, though, because where's my... There it is. We have a few to talk about now. A couple of these are going to be brain stopped arcs that I got sent. I've still not seen it yet, so please do not spoil it. It's on my list for when I have money, and I'm spending my money to go and see Dan on Thursday before I get paid. So, how do I do this? There we go. No, is it that one? No, it's not that one. That one. There we go. So you can do about my face for a minute. So the first one is the Wishing Stone. This was an arc. The videos for the two arcs as well are already up. So this was an arc sent to me by Adam Holcomb. This is book 2 in the Chronicles of Gam Gam. And basically Gam Gam and Mina have moved back to the capital city after a number of months after book 1. And basically, Gam Gam finds clues towards the whereabouts of something called the Wishing Stone, which allows one wish to come true, but it does have a period of time between recharges. We have a new character called Emil. You have Nuggets, Larry, and Gerald, who are undead skeletons, or in Nugget's case, an undead cat who believes that Gam Gam is in fact their familiar. So the most cattish of opinions you can ever get. Hey Dee Dee, how's it going? How are you? So I really enjoyed this. Again, the 2 arcs, they're in a video that went up yesterday that has been buried. Really, really good. It continues the really strong sort of almost wholesome horror fantasy feel that Necromancer called Gam Gam had. But it does have something that sort of twists the knife a bit, where you do have the main antagonist of the story, the villain of the piece, so to speak, is truly horrific. And in many ways, this is a clinic for how to, in one scene, make you hate a character. Really well done. Really enjoyed it. It's only, doesn't say on there, it's only about 140 pages, if that. So super quick read. So that's number 1. Number 2, has that transferred properly? Yes, it has. Well, ish. It's Third Lock from the Sun by Rex Burke. We've spoken about Rex before on the channel. Congratulations as well. I doubt he's in the chat this time. Hopefully he's not sneaking up on me again. But congratulations to Rex as well, because he was one of the winners at the Indie Ink Awards last night for Best Friendship, I think, for 2 of the characters in Orphan Planet. So this is a sci-fi fantasy that he chucked over my way, set on a remote island in Scotland, where a university kid basically takes a summer job that turns out to have been one that should have been taken down. And there's a local drunk on the island that's wandering around shouting about fairies. So obviously, nut job. But not quite. There's something going on there. Hey, Hermit, you alright? You're going to get mentioned later on, because at least one of these books is your fault. So, this was a lot of fun. I did give this 5 stars. It's comfy sci-fi. It's very light on the sci part and very high on the fiction part, which I tend to like. I don't really like hard sci-fi, so it works really well. Oh, you're exhausted. Oh no. Have you had a really busy week? Has it been one of those weeks this week? Also, Noah, how are you feeling? Because I know you were having an absolute horror show of a day in work today. Have you recovered from that? I am not sorry that I missed it. I had a good weekend with the kids. They stayed an extra night this weekend, so they've gone home now. I got absolutely piss wet through taking them because Manchester weather. I'm looking forward to next weekend because it's my youngest's 10th birthday this week. Hey Janie, all right? How are you doing? Yeah, so it's his 10th birthday on Wednesday, so I'm going to be popping down to see him on his birthday, and then we're going to go see Transformers next weekend, which I'm so excited about because I'm a massive Transformers nerd, obviously. So is he. So that's going to be fun. So there you go. That's the second of my arcs that I got given. Loved it. Amazing. Recommend testing it out. I have not come across a bad Rex Burke book yet, and I've only got one left to read, which I'll be reading next month. But on to the actual purchases, and I don't know where this one has come from. I've seen this recommended somewhere, and I don't even know who I saw recommend this one. So, Casualty of... I've got Noah-itis. Casualty of Fate by Riley Brew. We've employed someone at work that is younger than my eldest son now, and it makes me feel ancient, and I don't like it. So Casualty of Fate, I don't know anything about it. I can't even remember buying this. Maybe it was free. Hey Sue, how are you doing? How are you holding up, hon? So this is a detective... Neuritis, yes. This is a detective story following on from someone trying to find a predator hunting people in the city. I know nothing about this. I think it might have a romance subplot as well. I could just read the blurb, couldn't I? That'd probably help. It's been a busy week. Was hoping to be done with the house this weekend, but we're not, so another fun week ahead. Oh no. Well, I hope the second week resolves itself faster for you. So Detective Torrin Mickelson has always regretted letting the love of her life walk away. Hey, Bad, how you doing? That's just reminded me I need to add another one to this list. After 3 years of throwing herself into her job, AJ re-enters her life in a way neither of them ever imagined, as a victim of a vicious serial killer. As AJ lies in a coma as a result of surviving the attack, Torrin reverts back to the person AJ fell in love with, a fierce predator hunting down the unsub who has been terrorizing her city and threatens to take away her love for a second time. There's no doubt in her mind that Torrin will find the killer, but will she get her second chance with AJ, or is it already too late? Not my normal sort of book. I'm not sure where, like I said, I can't remember where I saw this recommended. So it's obviously an impulse buy. But yeah, another one for the list. So next one is another indie, Platinum Tinted Darkness by Timothy Wolf. I think this was free. This follows on from a book that I read a couple of months ago, and I can't for the life of me. I know I recommended it in the Discord recently, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called. You're at 50% in. Cool, you've actually overtaken me then. So, The Whisper That Replaced God, that's what it was called. So, I really enjoyed that. I picked that up for, I think it was 99p. So I thought I would check out one of their full-length books. So this is Darkness. It's part of, I think it's a trilogy. Pretty sure this was free for a limited time. So, the kingdom of Belon has been lost. The realms have already seen what happens when the gods and their harbingers are left unchecked. Destruction, chaos, and death. The gods cannot be trusted. No one knows that's better than David Williams, the leader of the Guardians tasked to protect the realm from the gods and their powerful harbingers ever since the fall of Belon. 6 Guardians take their privilege to leave the squabbles of kingdom behind, and live only to stop the harbingers and protect the realm from the gods. Serena Morgan, a famed crystal mage and guardian, struggles with the Guardian Pact when the kingdom of Tyrangus invades her home. She's supposed to stay out of it, but she can't. So on and so forth. I do like fantasy, and I have heard good things about this one. So I am really excited to actually get to that. Like I said, I really enjoyed The Whisper That Became God. I thought for a 80-page short story, it squashed so much in there. So, all right, this isn't technically a purchase. This is because we're doing Smuttober, which, if you don't know, is a themed reading month that Noah has set up for this month. And I believe this has been doing the rounds on TikTok. So I've bought book 2 because book 2 is 99p, but book 1 is on Kindle Unlimited. So a spicy small town romance and TikTok phenomenon. Phenomenon? Hang on. Phenomenon. There we go. Perfect for fans of Hannah Grace and Stephanie Archer. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I might have a recommendation for you. I've not read it yet. Noah has, but we're going to get to it in this in what I've bought this month. So I've not read anything about this. I know nothing about it other than it's relatively wholesome small-time romance. It's on your wish list. Well, the only reason I've got this is because it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I bought book 2 on Kindle because it was 99p. So when Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved pumpkin spice cafe, which, just on a side point, pumpkin spice isn't a massive thing in the UK. Just on a mild part, I've had it once and it was awful. Hated it. Don't really see it very much over here, at least not in Manchester anyway, where I go. So, small town Green Harbour, Jeannie jumps at the chance of a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Hey Donna, you alright? We'll get on to it in a bit, Donna, but I have thoughts on Leather and Lark so far. Pumpkin Spice Cafe is. The other books I don't think were. Hang on. Let me. It might vary by country, so. Let me just check. Yeah, book one's Kindle Unlimited. Or at least it is here in the UK, so there we go. Yeah. Hello! Welcome. How are you doing? How's your reading going? If you haven't checked out Elmos's channel, you really should. Their voice is just silken. It really is. I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, I must hear everything. Well, I got to the third point, but we'll get there. Yeah, so this book's all over TikTok. I don't have TikTok. I'm an old person. Yeah, I thought it was. I've got it on Kindle Unlimited. I did, however, buy. You reading it at the moment? How are you finding it? I did buy the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, however, because that was 99p on Kindle, and I see books for 99p and just buy them. So this is the follow-up. It's got an outgoing fisherman called Noah, which sounds strangely. You've found Noah's blog. Well, you will see a lot more of me then as well, because me and Noah live 5 minutes away from each other. Bless his cotton socks. Yeah, I don't really know anything about that Cinnamon Bookstore, Bookstore, but I'm excited. You're recommended to read these. Also, Donna, just so you know, that author you recommended yesterday with the Were Chicken, or whatever it was, Were Turkey. So I noticed they did a Minotaur book. So I've recommended that to Noah, because he likes his Minotaur fiction. So he's going to shout at me for that in a minute. Don't know why that's come up like that. Red Rising, Book 3, Morning Star. Not much to say about that. I've still not read books 1 and 2. But again, 99p. I'm going to read the series eventually. I'll probably start, because I've got Red Rising on audiobook. So that's fun. So God knows when I'll get to it. But I don't know why it's shown up like that. I must have copied it in a stupid way. You spelled how wrong. That is your speaking just gone. My reading's going well. I'm finding Percy quite fun. It's a little off-piste for me, but the characters are all distinct and there's plenty of small time. See, I like that. Poor Noah doesn't wish he had a book friend near him, because he works with me. I'm his boss, which is always a fun dynamic. And obviously Jenny is in the chat as well, who's Noah's better 2/3. I've known since she was a wee baby. So there we go. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's normally I don't read smut too much, or to be fair, romance. But I've started to read a little bit. Some of it I've enjoyed, some of it normally stuff that somebody has referred me to. Noah, you deserve it for what you did with The Beast. The Darkness Outside Us. This has been on my list for ages. It's sci-fi LGBTYA. I believe it's a romance. But not compared to me, you know. Two boys alone in space after the first settler on Titan trips her distress signal. Neither remaining country on Earth could afford to scramble a rescue of its own, and so two sworn enemies were installed in the same spaceship. Yes, just one half is taller than the other. Ambrose wakes up on the coordinated endeavour with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board the ship. Its operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. But nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission succeed, not when he's rescuing his own sister. Darkness Outside is really good. I believe there's a new one come out. There's a follow-up that's come out. Is it The Light Within or something, the second book's called? I know. I feel sorry for you, Jenny, knowing me that long. Actually, I need to, while it's in my head, I need to sign into chat. for something in a minute. That can go away. So, yeah. This has been on my list for ages. I just haven't got to it yet. And again, it went 99p. I bought it. Because that's what I do. I buy things. This is a bit of a weird one. So this was recommended to me by Carl over at Please Read Your Book. So I am going to try, see if this works. Can I? No. Why won't you work? So if you want to go check him out, his channel is there. He is in a similar mental space to me at the moment in terms of YouTube, because if what the hell did I just do? Old man doing things wrong. Yeah, he's had a similar sort of frustration to me with YouTube recently. So, huzzah. Let's drop that down there. But well worth checking out. Great guy. Yeah, that's what battered me last month. The when there was the indie sale on and all the 99p books, which is why I've got so much. Which is why I will be doing the Read What You Own challenge again this year, because it was insane. Also, Jenny, are you keeping count? Because I've not been keeping count here. So Echoes of Mice and Men. Now that's interesting to me because I hate Mice and Men. Because we did it in school and I despised it. I feel old at the moment. I might not in a few days' time because I'm off. But the motel life explores the frustrations and failed dreams of two Nevada brothers on the run after a hit-and-run accident who, forgotten by society and short on luck and hope, desperately cling to the edge of modern life. So this was actually done as a Goodreads recommendation to me, which I didn't know was a thing you could do, and now I do. So I'll be checking that out. But if you want to go and check out Carl's channel, I highly recommend that you do. Doesn't upload overly often, but I know I've what the hell have I just done now? Come back here, you. I know I've shared a couple of his videos in the Discord, so well worth checking out. Why is it not showing everything? That can go away. Is it about 10 so far? It might be. I'm hoping to do a backlist reader challenge next year. Finally clear some of my shelf out. You look younger than me, Hermit. That's the problem. I'm feeling... I mean, to be fair, it's not going to help because my hair is not going to be this colour after today. It's getting dyed today or tomorrow. So, the last one is from an author who is on YouTube, who I've spoke to a few times, called MJ James. Who, again, they do productivity sprints, stuff like that. So, again, well worth checking out. So there's their channel. So, they're an autistic author as well. So yeah, I've not read the book yet. It's only just come out, but I mean, it gives me vampire vibes, and it's me. So we like vampires here. With nothing, I'm still on screen. Yeah, with nothing left, Lucas went to reinvent himself in Eaton, Colorado, a town whose name was one of the few clues about his parents, who died when he was young. Taken in by Rocco, the local bar owner, Lucas is focused on saving money for top surgery and starting a new chapter in his life. Everything changes when Veronica walks into the bar. Unbeknownst to Lucas, she is a vampire with council permission to take his blood. What neither of them initially realizes is that Lucas's parents harbored a deep secret. They were vampire kin, genetically predisposed to being turned. Forced into vampirism against his will, Lucas finds himself trapped forever in a body that can never change. Even meeting Jeffrey, a charming and supportive vampire, cannot ease the pain of this profound violation. I'm actually really looking forward to getting to that. Where's my buttons gone? That can go away. Don't need that anymore. So, oh no, wrong one. That one. There we go. There we go. So that's the non-physical books. It has been a physical heavy month though. Your hair looks amazing at the moment, Luna, just on a side point. I haven't got grey hair yet, but I will have potentially after tomorrow. So, but we'll see. So that's the thingy books, the ebooks. Not as many this month because last month was like 40 of the fuckers. But my ex-wife went grey a lot earlier than I have, which is unsurprising because she married me and I'm incredibly stressful to be around. I have still not read any of the, or seen, I need to add this, any of the Interview with the Vampire books. Adds them all to my TBR. Yes, there's just so many books. I'm excited for my indie book box actually next month because I believe it's horror themed. Also, it makes change because normally you add books to mine. So the next one is one that I'd already read. I read it on Kindle Unlimited because it was on there briefly. Then I picked it up for 99p, and now I bought the physical version, and then threw the physical version at Noah, who has read it and liked it, so be told. Butcher and Blackbird. This was all over the place last year, for good reason. It's really, really good. It has some very good spice in it. We were talking yesterday on Donna's reading sprint about chapter 17, which I know Noah and Jenny know all about. Hint, hint. But yeah, really, really good. Sloane and Rowan have such amazing chemistry. That's what really makes the book more than anything else. They're just sizzling on page together. And I'm currently reading through Leather and Lark, which is the follow-up. It's going to be a trilogy of books. The trouble with Leather and Lark is the two characters of Lark and Lachlan are, well, they're just not Rowan and Sloane, basically. Lachlan feels like if you took all the personality out of Rowan. So you've just got this mean-acting, brooding, grumpy person with none of the sort of charisma. No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's one of the spicy chapters. I think it's chapter 17. Was it chapter 17, Noah, that you asked me for? I think it was. So that's my issue with Lachlan. Lachlan's Rowan's brother. Lark, the very first chapter of the book really irks me because it portrayed a like spoiled rich kid who doesn't really know what they're doing, who's just a bit of an ass for no reason. And these two are then forced into a marriage together, and it's just lacking all the chemistry from the first book. It's not bad. It's perfectly serviceable, but you have two characters that don't come off as especially likable, who don't really have any chemistry, at least at this point, together. There was a scene early on involving pizza, beer, and teeth. Yes, you got the audio by accident. It is. Donna is aware that I recorded this audio. I mentioned it yesterday, so I'm not hiding anything here. It is out in the wild. I can't do anything about it now. So, well, I can just thingy the link, unless you've, well, I know Noah will have downloaded it and copied it everywhere by now. So it's not bad. I'm a third of the way through, and it's beginning to get better. But Leather and Lark so far is at its best when Sloane is in the book, which is a shame because she's not one of the main characters. And that's it. That's what I want to say about that one. I know it's not on my buy list now. Butcher and Blackbird was. But Butcher and Blackbird is really, really good. And I highly recommend trying it out. I mean, just the content warnings. It's the content warnings that got me more than anything else. Like, accidental cannibalism. Like, why? How? Not so accidental cannibalism. This causes me to ask questions. And also, yes, yeah, spice. Oh, it's not just for your ears, because I sent it to your girlfriend as well, Noah. So, sorry about that. But anyway, that's that one. And then another one that, the next two books are books that I've read on Kindle Unlimited and really liked, so I've gone off and bought them. First one is How to Bite Your Neighbour and Win a Wager. This is book one in the Guide for Dating Vampires series. I've done a first chapter read on the channel of this last month. The Ember very kindly gave permission for this one. Yeah, it's not a good smoothie. It's not a good smoothie. I don't recommend it. I mean, it'll probably have your calcium needs, but that's it. I really like this. The interaction between the two main characters of Victor and Wesley is really, really sweet. It does have some spice in there, but what this book actually does, which I quite like, is it has one spicy scene, and basically you have an insert going, if you want to read this scene, turn to the back of the book and it's there. If not, you can continue reading without that having to read that scene, which I do actually quite like that. Yes, by accident. I know, it's fine. I don't care. It's out in the wild now. I probably recorded worse. But it's really, really good. The basic story is that you've got... I keep calling him Vincent, sorry. Vincent is a vampire who is a bit down on his luck. There was actually a short story out there explaining just before he got turned. And basically got this rule to never feed on someone twice. Wesley has a bit of a bite kink, realises they're getting bitten by a vampire, wakes up one night when they're being bitten. And Wesley's mother died in mysterious circumstances for the local pharmaceutical company. Wesley's trying to get in, but to get in, they need to provide a vampire for experimentation, inverted commas. So it becomes almost like a fake dating thing initially until they begin to really fall for each other. Really sweet, good chemistry. Spicy scene is decently done as well. Part of a series, I am hoping to read book 2, which is How to Sell Your Blood and Fall in Love, before the end of the month, but we will see because we've only got like a week left and I have a backlog. And the next book that I've read already, which I read back in August, is The Bloodstones by Tori Tekken. If you like what I would class as semi-traditional epic fantasy, check this book out. It's more inspired by Eastern mythology and Eastern culture rather than European, which is always a massive selling point to me. It is quite slow. It is book 1 in an epic fantasy series, so it's having to do a lot of heavy lifting in terms of its world building and establishing how magic may work, although that's actually a bit of a mystery still to both us as readers and the characters as they're beginning to realise stuff. It's primarily dual POV, and it's set over a period of about 7 years. But there's a couple of chapters, especially in the back half of the book, to keep us informed on what's going on in the rest of the world, where you go to a couple of other characters that we've already met, just to keep us abreast of what else is going on in the world at large, beyond the quite narrow viewpoint of the two main characters. The world building is exceptional. Sometimes dialogue feels a bit stilted, but I can put that down to the class nature of some of the characters in here. And actually, as I sort of pulled away a little bit, it did kind of make sense, especially with, pardon me, with the main character whose name I can't, Garen, who is like the son of the king's #1 advisor. You have some politics going on, you have trained assassins, you have barbarian hordes on the doorstep. It's just all around a really, really good read. Just a little bit slow, but again, I liked it. World building is outstanding. Which one to do next? Shall we do... You know what, this is a small pile, and one of these books I've been talking about for a little while with, I'll mention to Noah a few times. So, the first one, a couple of BL mangas. So I read Therapy Games Volume 1 months ago, so I got number 2. More explicit than number 1. Surprised me a little bit. Surprised me quite a bit. It's still quite sweet, though, with its storytelling. And The Titan's Bride. This came today. It's still in its cellophane wrap. Literally picked this up because it was half price. Yeah. I mean, it's got a warning for explicit content on there. So we'll read that by the end of the month. But that's another 2 of them. As long as it's not like MADK, which is I still need to burn. Are they no longer... Hang on. Sorry, I've just realised I've missed something somewhere. I've only read the first 3. I'm not sure I will read them at the time. What have I missed? What have I missed? I've missed something somewhere. Hang on. Oh, Interview with a Vampire. Okay. Okay. I will read them one day. And the last one, this will be one of my reads for October, is Serial. So this is very much inspired by the old Hammer horror movies and people eating their cereal in the morning. And it's a graphic novel that includes... Was that Chucky? No, it wasn't. It was a leprechaun. I know nothing about this. I saw this recommended by... I want to say Criminally, but I could be wrong. But I needed something decent to read that was a little bit more graphic novel focused. So I believe it's a number of short stories. Yeah, so there's 7 chapters. So I think this might be in a comic originally, actually. And it's just taking very much kind of a not a cynical look. What's the word I'm after? Someone give me English. I've forgotten the English language. It'll come to me. Satirical, I suspect. That's the word. Look at like the old horror films and what they used to look like. It's got some pretty nice art in here, I have to say. I mean, it's just... I don't know how well it's going to come out on the camera. But it's well drawn. I don't know if there's more chapters or if it's just like the one book. But... yeah, it's one of my 2... what the hell is that? Like, terrifying bird creature. There we go. I don't know what that is. I think it's called Gerald, I've decided. But, yeah. I'm looking forward to hitting that one next month. And one for Bad, if you're still here. So, while I was on my book buying ban after buying most of these, it's very colour. There's a lot of colour. I just like the fact that it's very reminiscent of how you could imagine a higher budget or more modern Hammer film could look. I really like them though. They're really, really good. Yeah, there's I've got that. The other one I'm reading next month. Where is it? Where have we gone? Which I've spoken about this a few times, but I'm reading Hollow as well, which is a very colourful. Where's the picture that I really like in here? A very colourful sort of reimagining of the Tale of Sleepy Hollow, which I really, really like. It's obviously a lot more computer drawn, I suspect, but absolutely gorgeous as well. So that's my other graphic novel for next month. That's gone very loud. Why have we done that? But one for Bad, if she's still here. If not, I'll throw it to her over on... It's a pretty book. Noah recommended this, and I went off wandering into Warrington, which isn't too far from where I live, with my kids with the idea of not buying any books. I'm always off in April, just on a side point, Luna. I always have a week in April. And Noah had never read fantasy before. So I think this was this your second or first fantasy book? I'm not sure. But he picked up Feybound. Now, he picked up the hardback. I don't know if he got the special edition that's the blue cover. But where's the blurb on this thing, actually? Because it's not on the back of the book, which is confusing to me. Hang on a minute. Okay, I don't know where they've put the blurb, so I'm going to go off what I remember from memory rather than looking it up. So I believe this is a Fae. This is more inspired by African myth and history, I believe, from what Noah said to me. Not European Fae history, at least. And I think it's a case of either the Fae have all died out or the humans have all died out. I think it's the Fae, and then they discover that one person in here, it's inside. It doesn't have a dust jacket. It doesn't have a dust jacket because this is the paperback. So, oh no, hang on. Do you know what it is? I'm looking at the back page, thinking it's it's when people say nice things about books. It's not. It's me being thick. Imprisoned by fate as a warrior in the elven army, Jillian knows she'll die on the battlefield, but her sister Lettel, a diviner, seeks prophecies of a better future. Divided by blood, when a fatal mistake leads to Jillian's exile from the elven lands, the sisters are forced into the terrifying wilderness beyond their borders. There they encounter the Fae court. As Jillian and Lettel are thrust into the Fae's seductive world, they're torn between their loyalty to each other and their hearts. I like Fae stories. I like Fae lore. I nearly picked this up in hardback. Like I said, one of the copies is like basically this, but hardback. But the other one is blue. So I, while on a book ban, messaged Noah to go, look what I found in the bookshop for £3, because he paid full price for it. So I do this quite often. And I got a message going, you can buy that, you're allowed, you don't need to be banned anymore. So there we go, that's how that one works. Also, on a side point, this means I don't have to read Twilight now if I read that. Noah said it, so there we go, he said he will still read Twilight. So there we go. And then, moving from ones that Noah allowed me to buy to ones that Jenny encouraged me to buy. So a few days later, I went out to the Trafford Centre with Jenny. And again, book ban's still in place. And we went into Waterstones just for a nosy round. And I only bought 2. I was good. But buy one, get one half price is just such a hard thing to say no to. So I picked up Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. Now, I was not a massive fan of Legends of Lattes, which is a shame because I love the premise of it because I'm a massive D&D nerd. I will read Midnight Sun. It might end up being next month though, now at this point. But this has bookshops in it. And also I realised, so me and Noah started Legends of Lattes as a live buddy read on stream. And I think because that slowed down the pace and it made it not work for me at all. I also felt a little bit like Viv. I lacked a little bit of latching for Viv's character. So I might... Yeah, I probably do need to reread it without Noah. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to read this first because I believe this is a prequel. And this might actually give me more to latch onto with Viv. It was my first sort of punt at cozy fantasy as well, which, if you ever look at my reading stats, anything cozy tends not to sit that high up on there. It tends to be dark and brooding. Which fetches us to something that was a cover by. I didn't even read the blurb on this. I saw the cover and went, yes. Young Gothic by M.A. Bennett. That is very shiny. There we go. Yeah, this is a complete cover by. I know nothing about it, so I'm going to read the blurb for the first time now. You've heard of Frankenstein's monster, you've heard of Dracula, but have you heard of the Villa Diodati? Now, I have, because of Doctor Who. Because Villa Diodati was in one of the Jodie Whittaker stories involving the Weeping Angels. So, there we go. 4 strangers are invited to spend an unforgettable summer at the birthplace of all things Gothic. I've lost where I'm up to. There. The Villa Diodati is a beautiful, isolated lakeside residence, but it hides a dark heart. Eve, Griffin, Hal, and Wren are about to come face to face with their worst fears, deadly secrets, and monsters they thought only existed in their minds. And when one of the villa's guests is found dead, each will become a suspect in a gruesome murder. It was supposed to be a trip of a lifetime, but when the stuff of nightmares becomes their reality, will they make it out alive? Total cover buy one get one half price. It's a YA novel. I think that'll fit for I like that. I think that'll fit for a Halloween read, actually. I will probably do it as a wrap up. It's in a bookshop. I'm bound to like it more than in a coffee shop. Like, surely. The thing is, I think it's because me and Noah just broke the pacing of it, because once I read the back half on my own, I actually enjoyed it a lot more, but it did get more action-packed at that point. Also, at the time, I think we were playing D&D at the time, and my character did not fit into the comfy mold, I should say, whatsoever. I mean, psychotic war crime mode tends to fit my D&D characters more than anything else. So that's the smaller books. Then I have 4 more, sorry. The first one is a reimagining of Hades and Persephone. And it's called Hades Calculus. So this is an indie title by Mariah Ying. So, decadent cyberpunk cities, Greek mythology, and giant mechs. Hades and Persephone as never seen before. So, a cyberpunk mech-based retelling of Hades and Persephone. I don't think I've seen one quite like this of these retellings before. This is one that I had on my list for quite a while, actually. I saw this through Twitter, bizarrely enough. A lot of my indie books come through Twitter, actually, now. So, for generations, Colossi have besieged the gates of Elysium. Each day, the city's fall looms closer. As one of Elysium's rulers, Hades has long sought to break the stalemate. In Persephone, a cyborg tailor-made to kill, she finds the key to victory and the perfect pilot for her war machine. She will acquire Persephone at any cost. Born to wield violence with the bloodthirst to match, Persephone chafes under her mother's control. At the first opportunity, she brutally breaks free and seeks sanctuary with the unlikeliest of patrons, the Lord of the Machine Dead, the Master of the Underworld. All Hades and Persephone have to do to realise their goal is to navigate the city's treacherous politics and survive the coming war. I mean, part of the reason is it's a Greek retelling, which I always like. The last one I read was... where are you? Where have you gone? The last one I read was... God, I can't remember the name of the... was Orpheus and Eurydice retelling, and that was Death's Country, which was a really interesting take on the myth. It's also written in as a spoken word performance as well, which I didn't realise because I bought the book and then listened to the audio of it. So there we go. So that was a good choice. But that was really good. So I'm excited to see a very extreme reimagining, I suspect, for this. I believe it is very, very good. So that's the Hades Calculus. Did I put... It's... You do love your Greek myths, so it may well be one for you to check out. I will chuck it your way when I'm done with it. Now, then I bought 2 hardbacks. Now, I have never read any of Cassandra Clare's is it Mortal Instruments? Is that what they're called? Series? I watched the Shadowhunters series on Netflix and I liked that well enough. I've never seen the film. But a hardback book came up for £3.92 brand new on Amazon. So I bought it and then realised it was a book 2 and then had to buy book 1. So we have The Eldest Curse, books 1 and 2, The Red Scrolls of Magic, and The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare. These are linked to the Shadowhunters. I believe these are Magnus Bane and Alex Lightwood, who are my 2 favourite characters anyway from the series. Focused on them, I think. I picked them up because they were cheap. So, there we go. No idea when I'm going to actually read them, but I will read them eventually. And one day I will also read the Mortal Instruments books, especially because I believe book 1 is a banned book, so I should probably get to that by the end of this year. And last one, so Jenny, I really do hope you've been keeping count, because I haven't been. This, I'm pretty sure... yes, look, right, shush. I think this one's Hermit's fault. I'm pretty sure this is Hermit's fault, because they were talking about book 2 of this in a reading sprint, and I can't for the life of me remember what book 2 was called. So I'm going to quickly look that up while I waffle for a second. I'm actually probably going to keep this under an hour. This is a minor miracle. Evocation. So, hang on. No, don't do that. Odd Spirits, I think. I don't know. Oh, that's a shame. It's not my go-to. You're just as bad at this as me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one that Hermit calls me to buy. Because they were talking about the author in chat. And this is Evocation by S.T. Gibson. Again, I don't know anything about this, but I looked at the cover for the one that they were reading and went, I need to have that. And then realised that that wasn't book one. So I went out and bought book one, because when I came to look for it, it was half price. So self-control and all that went out the window. So The Devil Knows Your Name, David Aristarkov. As a teen, David Aristarkov was a psychic prodigy operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. Now, years after his father's death and rapidly approaching his 30th birthday, he is content with the high-powered life he's created as a Boston attorney, moonlighting as a powerful medium for his secret society. But with power comes a price, and the devil has come to collect an ancestral debt. David's days are numbered, and death looms at his door. Reluctantly, he reaches out to the only person he's ever trusted, his ex-boyfriend and secret society rival, Reese, for help. However, the only way to get Reese is through his wife, Moria, Jesus. Thrust into each other's care, emotions once buried deep resurface, and the trio race to figure out their feelings for one another before the devil steals David away for good. This is book one of the Summoner's Circle series. It was you. I thought it was. So yeah, this was a buy simply based on the cover. The cover of the one you were talking about, and the cover for this is gorgeous, and I'm going to buy the other one very soon. That's me about Bradbury's Something Wicked is the second. I didn't know that was the second in a trilogy. There you go. I need to read a bit more Bradbury. I read Fahrenheit 451 and struggled a little bit. I do tend to struggle a bit more with unabridged lit a little bit because of language changes. It just doesn't. My reading flow gets interrupted, and I find it hard to keep focus on it a little bit. So, Dandelion Wine is the first, I think. Fair enough. So I tend to do better with audiobooks of anything from before 1970-ish, probably. Same with Shirley Jackson. Tried to read Shirley Jackson. Brain just does not compute. Tolkien's the exception. When I read The Silmarillion, I found it a really challenging book to read at the time, which was about 15 years ago at this point. I didn't read it then as much as I do now. But I absolutely loved it because of the world building. Which, side point, Noah, when are you reading some Lord of the Rings? Because you've not read any yet. But I do need to read more Bradbury, because it's fascinating how much the themes in Fahrenheit are still so, if not more so, apparent in their importance today and how applicable they are. Same with 1984 as well, which I did really like. So yeah, so that's what I've bought. So it's about 30. So you were pretty close, Jenny. It's not quite 30. I think it's 27. I think. Oh, and one other to add on. Although it doesn't really count because it's a Audible credit. But I've also picked up The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King on Audible. So at the moment I'm listening to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I think, hang on, where's it gone? So Evocation is book 1. And then there's a book 1.5. And then there's a book 2, I think. But I'd looked at a cover for not Evocation and thought I want that, and then had to go by Evocation. I was sensible and bought book 1 first before I bought book 2, and then had to buy book 1 as an excuse. Which is my normal approach thing, is to go, oh, pretty book, buy it, and then realise that it's like book 7 in a series, which I've done that on more than a few occasions. But yeah, that's all my purchases for this month, so about 30. And like I say, I've also picked up The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is book 2 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I'm currently buddy reading Serpents and the Rings of Night with Bad, which took a bit of time to get going. That's been alright so far, for what it is. It's a decent romantasy. No. Oh, have you read Evocation? Is it good? Am I going to like it? I think I'm going to like it. I hope I like it. The only other 2 books I want to mention, which I haven't bought, well, no, one of them's a pre-order, so I have bought it. Because I'm not planning on buying anything next month, and I keep saying this, and keep realizing that I'm an idiot. But the first one is Legend of Whitesnake by Shirley, which is out in October. Lots of S's. I have the version that's split into 6 books with the compendium. Is that the right word for it? As well. It's quite hard to get that box set now, I believe. I had a look and it's quite expensive. So, yeah, I've actually got it here next to me. Hang on. So that's the version that I've got. Lord of the Rings. So 6 books and a appendices, that's the word. So there we go. So I've got that. I have The Hobbit somewhere. Don't know where it is. I need to read Children of Hurin. I've not read that yet. And some of the other Tolkien stuff. I read The Silmarillion and I've lent that to someone, and I would dearly like to get it back because I want to reread it. I've been trying to find you in that style. I keep finding lots of 6-book collections that are not actually Lord of the Rings, but world-building books because there's so much. But I will find it, yeah, I promise. But yeah, so my pre-orders. So Legend of Whitesnake is a retelling of a Chinese folktale. So a snake spirit transforms into a boy and hides his true identity after following a very headstrong prince. Shirley's Legend of Whitesnake is a lush, queer, romancy retelling of the traditional Chinese folktale. Gorgeous cover designed by Kari Huang, which it is gorgeous. When Prince Zan was a boy, a white snake bit his mother and condemned her to a slow, painful death. The only known cure is an antidote created from the rare white snake itself. Desperate, Zan is determined to capture one and cure his mother. Soon Zan enters an enigmatic but beautiful... No, he doesn't. Let's definitely reword that one because that sounded wrong. Soon Zan encounters, not enters, an enigmatic but beautiful stable boy, Jesus, named Zhen. And the two are immediately drawn to each other, but Zhen might just be the human embodiment of the white snake that Zhan is hunting. And as their feelings grow deeper, will the truth about Zhen's identity tear them apart? So that's out in October the 17th. So excited for that one. And the other one, and I haven't ordered it yet, but I will be doing, is not that. Hang on. I'm calling it. It's the follow-up to The Watchers by A.M. Shine. Yeah, that was bad choice. That shows what I've been reading this month because of Noah Dunsit. Right, where am I? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm also going to be picking up Stay in the Light, which is the follow-up to The Watchers. Yeah, it does alter it just a little bit. Just a little bit. This time last week we were playing Smash or Pass, me and Noah, on book characters, so it's his fault. So this, I believe, is now a film, The Watchers. I haven't seen it yet. I know Dakota Fanning is in it. I believe it's okay. I did like book 1. I liked also Creeper, although I didn't like the ending of it, by Shane as well. So after her terrifying experience at the hands of the Watchers, Mina has escaped to a cottage on the west coast of Ireland. She obsessively researches her former captors, desperate to find any way to prolong the safety of humankind. When Mina encounters a stranger near her home, she fears the worst, for she knows the figure is not what it seems. Soon people she has encountered start to disappear. Mina knows the Watcher's power is growing. She flees for her life, but when she reports her fears, she finds her sanity questioned. Can she convince people that the Watchers are real and ready to strike? A lot of R letters in that sentence. Or will she suffer the fate she has dreaded since she first encountered these malevolent beings? I am very excited to read that. That's when is that out? That's out the 10th of October. So once it's paid out, I'll be pre-ordering that as well. And hopefully that will be all my purchases of books for next month, because again, from the 1st of November, Read What You Own challenge kicks in. I did it last year and I read everything that I owned, but I still kept buying books, which sort of, wasn't the point of the idea, but never mind. But yeah, so about 30 books. But what books have other people bought recently? Inquiring minds want to know, so I feel less guilty. Or what books are people reading now? What do you mean, what? What does what mean in this context? So what's wrong with Twilight anyway? I thought it was a literary masterpiece. I'm so happy I'm finally going to start reading it. I don't think you'll get past page 100, but I'm so happy that you're reading it. Also, how was your books from your reading sprint? Because I know you didn't have fun with one of those, did you? It wasn't fun at all. But we spot Private Rights by Jillian. Oh, now they wrote. Is it Wives Under the Sea? Why your fault? Because Smut Month, Smuttober was your idea. God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Don't know that one. You bought a few books in August, Luna. That's fair enough. So did I. I bought a lot. This month has been quite good by my standards. Yeah, Julia Armfield. They are the one that wrote Wives Under the Sea, I think, which I think Noah has. In fact, I know Noah's got it because I pointed it in the bookshop and went, "Look, you want that?" And he did, and he bought it. Not a single book bought, but I'm about to start Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I need to read Cosby. I know Kada did a really, really, really good video on all their books recently. I also treat myself to many used books from a book market like Fourth Wing, Shadow and Bone, Hobbit, Foster, and a nice sprayed version of Hell Followed with Us. I love that book. So Luna very, very kindly got me while I was on my first reading sprint, I think it was, ordered me the sprayed edge version of it from Waterstones. I have 2 copies of that. I'm actually going to be doing a video probably next month because there's a book tag been going around for the introduce book tag for you to introduce an author, and I think Andrew Joseph White is going to be the author that I do because I've read all 3 of their full-length books now. But yeah, I've got I don't think you were here at the start of it. Kind of wraps around the sprayed edges. It's nice. I mean, I've got, so the version that I got was the peach tree one. Where's the other one? Where have I put it? Not quite sure where I've put the other one. I had it for something earlier. Oh no, it's there. So, right, that's the one that Luna got me very kindly with the sprayed edges. And then the original one I got was the Peachtree version. Because it took a bit of time to get here, which is that one. And what I love about this is it has a study guide in the back to help you actually read through the book and ask you certain questions about how certain aspects of the book or what you think the author's trying to say. And I really like that. Also, side point, Peachtree books have amazing book covers as well. The Death Country, that was a Peachtree book. Yeah, Hell Followed with Us was my second favourite book last year, and it was really, really close. I really liked Spirit Bares Its Teeth when I read that a couple of months back. That's really, really good. Compound Fracture I found a tough read. It might be because of the contemporary settings. Yeah, it's like a full section at the back. Like reading group guide, so a load of discussion questions. I think there's 10 of them in total. Like Discuss the quotations at the beginning of each chapter. Draw a connection between the epigraphs and what happened in this chapter. Is an example of one of them. I'm nearly done anyway, Noah, but thank you for dropping in. I hope if you're in work tomorrow, you have a decent day and you don't have a day like tomorrow. Hello, Courtney. How are you doing? What are you up to? What are you reading? Yeah, Peachtree books are amazing. Like, I've added a load more to my list because I've got this year. I know in the UK it's Daphne Press who do the. He's never good. Daphne Press do Andrew Joseph White's UK releases, but I mean you can't really see it. But the actual version that I've got is from the Peachtree one. It's actually a textured cover. Really, really like it. But like you've got I've been rearranging my shelves, so I don't actually know where I put things. But it's like you've got Spirit Bears Its Teeth, which is the hardback, which I really liked. Just a cracking cover, and one that I'm hoping Noah will read next month. I hope, because he's reading horror all next month. He was going to do extreme horror and then realised it was a terrible idea after last year. And then you've got St. Juniper's Folly, which is another, it's a YA horror as well. Got it for Amazon. I had it recommended. It took a little bit of time to get here. I think it's going to be the same with Celestial Monsters by Aidan Thomas, because I pre-ordered that on Amazon first and then realised that it wasn't going to get here on time and it won't let me cancel it. Hello, how are you doing, hun? What are you up to? What are you reading? How are all the things? It's a very nice cover. But yeah, there's a few. What did I just add today? I've added one today to my list, and I can't for the life of me think what it's called. My kids have been pressing buttons on my mouse. So I've got those. But yeah, Celestial Monsters, I've got a hardback copy coming. So I'll have 2 copies of it. And I'm quite excited because I think the hardback copy's actually nice. I mean, that's not a bad cover like at all, and it's shiny. Proper shiny. But Amazon won't let me cancel my pre-order. So I must have bought it with a doodad, with a voucher from when I traded my Kindle in before I stood on it. Diamond painting and sprint hopping. My daughter has just bought one of those diamond painting things. Is it like the pictures where you stick the diamonds on? Is that what you mean? If so, my daughter has just bought one today, a massive bloody A3 one, which is now downstairs. Yeah, I cover buy horrifically often. So the last one that I picked up, can I show that on stream? I can hear my child getting angry at video games. Was Angels Before Men, which I believe that's the better cover of the two. The hardback cover's horrible. That's pretty. Which I need to read. That was a cover buy. I just cover buy. I cover buy everything. If you like dark fairy tales, let's just smooth that out. I'll call that at some point, but that's worth reading as well. Butcher of the Forest by Premier Mohammed. Very much gives fairy tale grim sort of vibes to it. After debating with myself, I've decided to read a book on India that's been sitting on my shelf for an age and a day. When is it you go? Out of curiosity. But yeah, when is it you go? It can't be too far. Was it November you go? I can't remember. I have a terrible memory for dates. It's old age. But yeah, I just cover buy like constantly. Chrysalis and Requiem by Quinton Lee, that was another cover buy. That's the only one that's let me down so far. But yeah, well that's it. That's all my purchases and a few extra stuff mentioned as well. I don't think I have any more reviews this month. Where are we up to? 20 seconds. So no more review. I probably won't do any more reviews the way YouTube is at the moment anyway. So what do we have coming up? We have sprints this week. We have... You know what? I can't even remember what I've planned. That says it all, doesn't it? Where's my doodad? Come here, channel dashboard. Let me have a look at you for a second. So we have the Romance Tropes tag going up on Tuesday. So that's going to be fun. And then we have Reading Sprint, I think is also on Tuesday. That's badly planned. The 24th on Tuesday? Yeah. Tuesday, Saturday we have Reading Sprints. And then on the 30th I have my monthly reading wrap up. YouTube algorithm is murderous at the moment. It really is. It's really done my nutting the last few days. No, I don't think you are a reader if you don't cover by. But I am so happy that bookshops in the UK, nearly everything is shown spine on, because otherwise I would be even poorer than I already am. Poor Jenny, who is in the chat, can tell you what I'm like when I walk into a bookshop. I am like a magpie. I think I was going to be buying, what was I looking at? Butter. I can't for the life of me think of the author's name. But I went in, I saw it, thought, oh, I want that one. And I managed to talk myself out of buying that and buy different books instead that weren't even on my list. Shiny Fox book. So it is called The Butcher of the Forest by Premi Mohammed. It came out in February. It's got proper grim fairy tale vibes. The basics of the story is two children have gone missing in the enchanted woods that everyone knows not to go near, and the tyrant, the ruler of the land, summons someone to their castle to go in and find the children. They are the only person who has ever returned without... has ever got out relatively unscathed, so... Very much like a magpie, you're murdering a bookshop. I'm murdering any shop. If I have money, and I'm going to be in the Trafford Centre on payday this week, so that's going to be fun. I'm a nightmare, because I don't have money for much of the month. So I spend it all as soon as I can. What else have I got? What else have I got that's cover buys? Where's all my pretty ones? Oh. Absinthe Underground, if you like face stories, that's not bad. Especially if you like... It's not a Peachtree book. So I was meant to. I need to reach back out. Actually, I had a conversation with Premier actually about coming on the channel and doing an interview, and it fell through. And I need to reach out again to them. I have read. God, here we go. I've read the Beneath the Rising trilogy, which I really like. That was what. In fact, that's my second review on BookTube, was Beneath the Rising, because Noah hated it, so he gave it to me and refused to take it back, and I actually really liked it. So you've got that. I've read Siege of Burning Grass, which was difficult because it is a total of 5 chapters, and each chapter is about 70 pages long. So it was an exhausting book to read. Beautifully written. But it's like a treatise and meditation on war, and it's very heavy going. So that was a bit tough. Oh God, there's another book that they've written, and the cover is absolutely stunning. And I need to actually get the physical version of it because I've only got the. It's literally there on the page. What are you doing? Come on. Called What Could We Offer You Tonight? Let's see if I can find my thing. Screen capture. Nope, not that one. That one. Let's see if I can just get this up. There we go. Yeah, that is a beautiful cover. Let me just play about with this a second so I can actually get it to a decent size. So I want a physical copy of that. Very well written book. It's a cyberpunk dystopia horror. It's another novella. Pretty good. Yeah. There's some really good books. They are very well written. You've got a sequel. Okay. We'll probably read it eventually. They're very literary works, I will put it that way. Sometimes they work really well for me, sometimes not so much. Butcher in the Forest was for a long time my favourite read of this year, until like the last couple of months where Bury Your Gaze came out by Chuck Tingle. That's absolutely phenomenal. Celestial Monsters as well. That's gone right to the top of my list. Cheers for dropping in, Luna. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. I will catch you all very soon. So, well worth checking out. They also are one of the editors at God, what's the podcast? It's a sci-fi podcast, and I can't for the life of me think what it is off the top of my head. But I do need to reach out to them because they were actually going to come on the channel and do an interview. And they did have another book due out, and it seems to have disappeared into the ether somewhere. So it sounded really, really interesting, and I can't find a link for it now because I've deleted my sodding emails like a prat. So I need to see what that was called. But yeah, so they were quite pretty. What else have we got? So many pretty books. Thing is, I don't keep stuff. My bookshelves are not in any form of order, so it's just absolute carnage trying to find stuff. And I've lent a load of books out recently. What else have we got? Board Game Werewolf is a cool cover. Just on a side point. Fourth Wing I quite liked as well, bizarrely. When I read that about a month ago. Well, no, it wasn't a month ago. A couple of months ago. That was better than I thought. Iron Flame's better once you get past the first third. Iron Flame is a better fantasy novel. But Fourth Wing is surprisingly good. It just has a lot of fantasy tropes in there, which can be a bit frustrating if you've read a lot of fantasy. But if you're new to fantasy, it's not bad at all. Gaze Upon Wicked Gods, that's a pretty cover. Bit controversial because it has almost like a colonizer love interest in there, although it's not actually shown as a good thing. It's also caused some issues because here in the UK, it is put in the YA section. And both the publisher and the author have said this is not YA, and Waterstone's put it in the YA section. But it's one of those nice books where the dust jacket actually has stuff underneath it. So it's a nice, pretty cover. And you've got some beautiful artwork inside as well. So that's another one. Oh, hello. Let's just muck things up. And no, come back. I don't actually buy special editions very often. I just buy basic pretty covers. And another one that I picked up quite recently because it's got a kitsune in it. Well, not kitsune because it's Korean, not Japanese. So it's the kitsune equivalent. Is the golden? My God, that's now a 505 moment, isn't it? The God and the Gumiho by Sophia Kim, which is a trickster god and someone else. It's another romance. But it's a bit of Eastern mythology, and you know I like kitsune, so I'm curious to see a similar version from a slightly different culture, and one that you can't get in the UK easily. And again, I don't know why it's taken me so long to get this. Jesus, this is why I break books. This is the library binding that I've managed to get a hold of. Called Blood at the Roots by Ladarian Williams. This is kind of Harry Potter-esque, I believe, but from specifically no, I'm going to say it wrong. What's my brain's just gone completely numb. HBCU, is it? So it's discovering about your. I'm struggling with English today. It's been a long day. So I like the fact that it's got this almost acceptance letter on the back going, congratulations, it's with great honour and pleasure we can inform you that you've been accepted into Cayman University. This new journey will be prestigious and life-filling as you learn to grow in the excellence of hoodoo and Vodun magic, integrity and honesty. Your exceptional gift was selected from a very competitive applicant pool of conjurers, and we're confident you will contribute to the Blackgical culture and thrive here at Cayman University. I've heard it's very, 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 very good. So I need to get to that. I need to get to that. Took me forever to get that. I'm running off now, but it was great to see what you're going to read and all the pretty books on your shelf. See you also. Cheers for joining. I cannot wait to see whatever it is you make next on your channel, because I just love listening to your voice, which sounds a bit weird. But thank you for dropping in. I really appreciate it. But I think that pretty much, because I've now got piles of books on my thing. I am going to be doing a video for some recommendations for Halloween month, which I might record tomorrow because I'll be at a wit's end. But I think that's going to be it for me. So, thank you to people who've subscribed, because I've just noticed we have not subscribed. Don't say subscribed. YouTube doesn't like that word. People who have connected. There we go. That's the word to use. Because apparently he doesn't like the S word. But thank you for joining me. It's been fun. I know tonight was originally going to be a video game stream, but I've decided they're going to be on Twitch now. So there we go. But I hope you all have a great rest of your night and a great end of your weekend. And work isn't too horrible for next week. And I will hopefully catch some of you at some point during the week. Have a good evening, everyone. I'll catch you all very, very soon.